dusk of the first day.
What's good, everybody? My name is Modi, this is Modimakes, and today I'm gonna be doing something for all the Seattleites out there. What's up, brothers and sisters? How y'all doing? I'm gonna be painting something based off of an icon that most people who have been in Seattle for more than a few years will recognize as an extremely famous landmark that had been around for decades and decades and decades until it unfortunately got taken down because the place went out of business. I'm gonna be doing an illustration based on the Super Elephant Car Wash sign. I'm not just going to copy the illustration of the sign, even though it's super iconic. I'm gonna use it as inspiration, though keep it close enough that it is recognizable. But being that it's gonna be in my style and I wanna turn it kinda into one of my blue meanies, I took inspiration from another thing that I love very much from my childhood, which is Winnie the Pooh. And I combined the elephant from the Super Elephant Car Wash with the heffalumps and woozles from Winnie the Pooh, and kind of made it a little bit meaner and a little bit more nefarious looking, as I tend to do. This one doesn't necessarily have as much of a deeper meaning that a lot of my blue meanies tend to have. It's just kind of invokes that idea of your home changing around you and you being sort of powerless to do anything about it. And whether or not you think it's a positive change or a negative change, it just doesn't necessarily invoke that same sort of magic and wonder that it did for you when you were a child, which I think is something that most people can relate to. Anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Well, there you have it, my peoples. The Super Woozle car wash is complete. Yeah, that's what I ended up deciding to call it while I was working on it. It's a little bit of a long name, but you know, it gets the whole thing all wrapped up nice together. And I obviously don't want to steal the company's name, and I want to let people know that I did use, you know, the Hufflepuffs and Woozles Winnie the Pooh thing in it, which is why you could see me writing honey with the H-U-N-N-Y on there too. This one was a fun one to make. It was a little bit weird, just because a lot of the times I generally use really heavily saturated colors in the background, and while the colors that I use are still very bright and they are, you know, brighter shades of colors that I often use, they're more bright than they are saturated. They're pretty light colors. So the contrast of the piece isn't necessarily as heavy as, like, say, these guys right here, where I use really, really heavily saturated red and blue in them, or just a lot of the other pieces that I work on. So it looks a little bit different. I think I like it, but I just finished it, and it always takes me a little bit of time to decide whether or not I like these characters and these pieces after I finished them, so I'm not quite sure yet. I also thought it would be a nice touch to throw in those clouds that I used on the Rat King, just to give it kind of like a kid's room wallpaper sort of feel, like Toy Story wallpaper kind of thing, which I think is an interesting dynamic with this very like aggressive, creepy-ish looking, like deceitful looking elephant, with the, you know, baring its teeth and whatnot. And it's got that mean kind of stoned eye that I like to use a lot in my pieces. But let me know what you guys think of the piece down in the comments below. Also, let me know if you have any suggestions for anything you want to see me try, any questions about this piece or any pieces I've done in the past, or just any comments about my art or anything in general. I will definitely check them out and I'll be happy to answer them for you. I always make sure to try to go through every single comment and reply. If you want to reach out to me, that is a good way to do it. And you know, if you like the video, please give me a like. That would be fantastic. And if you like me, you like the channel, and you want to help support me, then the number one thing you can do is to subscribe. I say it every time, but it's still very true. And I truly couldn't thank you enough if you do. And with all that out of the way, and without further ado, let's get in those final shots, shall we?
Have a great day.